on. Oh my gosh. Hey, welcome to Thursday. It happens to be Creative Thursday here at the Righteous Rebels. Thank you for joining us from the Righteous Rebels Facebook group, also from LinkedIn and YouTube. If you are not a member of our Righteous Rebels community, we invite you to head on over to Facebook, to the Facebook group, The Righteous Rebels. Click the join button and we will know that you're there and accept your request. We love having you with us. We love the magic that you bring to our community. We're a community that really teaches you how to think for yourself, how to return home to yourself, how to have personal sovereignty. And we do it by way of creativity and play. And so today is Creative Thursday, and it's Leah's day. So I'm actually just going to turn the time right on over to her. Leah.
Yay! Thanks, Jen. I always love your introductions. I just love that. Yes, welcome to Creativity Thursday, where I am practicing the art of teaching and communicating things that I've learned in my watercolor journey, and have Jen on as my um, eager student.
Eager might be stretching just a little, but I'm getting there. I'm getting there. No, it's
Yeah.
actually fun because it does push my comfort zone a little bit, but it is
Oh,
becoming
wait.
more
Does
fun.
it mean that you're being bold?
What?
Does it mean that you're being brave? Are you
Are you
being
saying I'm a rebel?
rebellious? What?
You
I just
know,
love having Jen on for watercolors because watercolors is one of the more challenging mediums to work with because it doesn't always like to be controlled and reined in, and it can really poke our buttons for what do I do and what's the next step, and oh my god, the colors are mixing, and it pokes at our wanting to know, and our perfectionism
for issues, yes, those
our want.
those are most challenging to deal with.
Right. So, and I
You know,
love how,
I love it too that it really does go with our righteous rebel themes in our community of um having a mind of its own, like doing what it is going to intuitively do. So it's great lessons.
I think it's so important to have some like a beginner and someone that's not super comfortable in that space, just because Jen is super great at sharing just the feels of going through the process, but showing up anyways. And, we've had some conversations with her inner 5-year-old, I think her 8-year-old came out at one point too, and just really connecting with our creative side. So
My
I invite,
adult wanting to have tantrums.
yeah, right. So
Yeah.
just know that you're not alone in the feelings of, oh my gosh, is this looking right, and how do I do that? And we invite you to just dive in and see what comes out and be okay being a beginner. So and that starts by showing
Sure.
up. So how do you show up? You need some water, some paintbrushes. I have some bigger ones, some smaller ones. Today we're actually going to do a pineapple because I have a favorite quote. It's be a pineapple, stand tall, wear a crown, and be sweet on the inside. I just love that quote. It always makes me smile. So, and I love pineapples. So I'm gonna switch my camera.
I to be to be honest, I actually have seen the picture that we're doing today, and I have some angst, but we're gonna go with it.
We're gonna go with it. I love it. Um, it's all you need is watercolor paper, so 140 pound press it's called, or 300 GSM. And it's just the weight of the paper, the thickness, and how thirsty the paper is going to be. You don't want printer paper because you'll just make a mess. You want some watercolors, and just an eagerness and openness to the process, and trust the process and see where it takes you. So I'm
Right?
gonna,
A desire to learn. You know
yeah,
what? Before we get started, or like as we're getting started, one, I may have I may have done some strategic planning of this pineapple beforehand. But yesterday I had a conversation. So Leah and I have planned an in-person gathering on the 24th of August here near Idaho Falls. You can find information about that on the Righteous Rebels Facebook group. We're going to do an outdoor cooking stuff with one of my friends who's a chef. We call him Chefry. Anyway, he was talking to me yesterday. I'm so excited about this event, especially after talking to him. But yesterday he was talking to me about the different kinds of learning, pedagogy, andragogy, and my favorite was medagogy. And that's what I love about what we're doing right here is you said, what did you say? Like an eagerness or it brought the word desire to mind, like a desire to stretch your comfort zones, a desire to learn. And he was talking about medagogy and how it's this coming together of adult learners who then have a spontaneous eruption of learning and growth. And that's when we sit down and do this, it kind of reminds me of that, just that desire, even though it's uncomfortable, to learn something new and to like put yourself out there with a group of people. So there you go. There's that too. A plug for our thing on the 24th, but I'm excited. Let's get going.
No, I too am excited. You've shared some things about Jeff and his passion for his work and how he kind of fell into that, and I just love his story and his want to share that passion, and not just like in the food, but like activating all your senses to have a full experience, and I'm just so excited for that.
Absolutely, it is seriously going to be. What's that?
No, I just said I did put in the Facebook group where to sign up for that if you wanted to participate.
Perfect.
If you're in Idaho.
Just note to self, we really have limited space and it's only open to the first 10 people. So hop on over. His outdoor kitchen is beautiful. His personality and his soul are even more beautiful. And the food.
Oh, there we go. Okay, I'm going to switch over. There we go. So you see my watercolors. What else do you see? I'm going to stretch this over a little bit so you get my full page. Oh, and then my camera wants to like flop down. Fun. Okay, so I'm actually going to start with my pencil. And I'm going to pretend like my book is divided into 3 sections. And I did actually look up the rule of 3. It's one of those things that you learn a long time ago and then you just don't think of why, you just know that you do it. So I looked it up. So we do the rule of 3, whether it's taking photos or if it's, creating a piece of art or anything like that. The purpose of it is that it helps direct our eye, directs the viewer's gaze to what the main focal point of the image is going to be. So if you have a subject, you want to make the core of your subject to be in the, in that third. And it just makes most of the empty space and it just draws your eye. So there's that. I'm going to start. So imagine your page is in like 3 sections. Imagine the fruit of the pineapple is going to be the bottom 2 sections. So I'm just going to do like a loose oval. It can be long. There's no perfect shape to a pineapple. When you go shopping at the grocery store, you see all sorts of shapes. And now I'm getting all sorts of sun. And my image is washed out. I am not. Oh, we're going to get some shade. How do I remedy this? Technical difficulties. Let me see if I can fix this. Otherwise, you're not going to see what I'm doing, and then that's not going to work. Okay, can you see better, or did I make it worse?
It's just dark.
It's just dark now. How about...
whatever that is better. It's okay. Because the pencil line is light, it makes it a challenge, but
okay. Once we get color on here, it'll come together. So you're gonna make your bottom fruit a loose oval. I started with a bit of a circle and then I just elongated at the top. Really, you can make it kind of squared off. Pineapples have a mind of their own. I think sometimes when we get doing things, we forget that nature has all sorts of variations and they all turn out beautiful. So I'm going to do next the top part, the bottom part of the leafy stuff. I'm not sure what that called. I'm going to call it the leafy stuff. That's going to be okay. And again, it doesn't have to be perfect. The point is that you show up. And so we're going to start somewhere in here, and we can erase these lines after, but just to kind of get a basic shape to your pineapple. You're going to have like kind of a shape here, and then go over that way. And you're just making some leaves, some on the left side, some on the right. You can make your leaves long and skinny. You can make them thick. Really just make it your own. And it's whatever it comes out at is going to be awesome because you showed up for you and you did the thing. So, and you can always, play the video again and try it again and try a different technique. So,
leaves.
Right? So near the top, these come off this little triangle, if that helps. I did like a triangle shape centered. So imagine like you're looking straight on the pineapple. That's going to be like your center point. And then I'm going to draw another one over this way, and then a shorter one. And then a little baby one over here, just like that.
A what?
A little baby one. Just like that. These will come out as you're painting, so I'm not going to get too much in the weeds of that. I did have an eraser, so I'm just going to go lightly over. I apologize if you can't see. My lighting is a little bit off right now, so not that it's super. It's just pencil, so it's super light. Okay, so we're going to do this a little bit different. We're going to start in the center here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make 4 diamond shapes in the center. And I'm just going to do it with my water. I don't like that brush. I'm just going to go in with my water. Hard to see right now, but it will all make sense in a minute. I'm going to go in. I'm just going to do 1 diamond at a time. And I'm going to take a color. Oh, I lost it. So when you're not sure where your water is, you can shift your gaze and look from different angles, and then you can see where you put the water because sometimes it blurs. So I'm going to just do 1 color in one corner and then take another color and do the other corner. And then they'll diffuse into one another. I have a bit of an angle thing going on here, so there. So that's 1 diamond.
So I'm going to bring us back to strategic. We've been talking about strategic planning. Strategic planning, trying to be smart and think ahead, totally is very different from what you're instructing. So
tell me how that's going.
Amazing. It's going amazing.
Yeah? Okay.
It's just going to be very different.
Cool. I love it.
So talk about that. We've been chatting about this. Came across it yesterday as we were reading and discussing, and we actually had something else we were going to talk about, but now we can't remember what. So
yeah. So we've been reading this book by Humble the Poet, and I was reading a line out of it yesterday that it did something inside me that I was like, Like
You laughed. You laughed your head off.
I did. I like something inside me just bubbled up and it just made me laugh. So the quote is, having a strategic approach to love takes away the decency of the experience. Now let that sit with you for a second. Having a strategic approach to love takes away the decency of the experience. What is it? What do you hear, Jen, when you hear that? Like what does that mean to you?
For me, it's like it takes away from like any of the authentic moments that just happen that have like deep meaning and um actually like just kind of like lack of our control. They're those uncontrolled moments that can just bring so much beauty and so much like laughter.
Spontaneity?
What's that?
Spontaneity, maybe?
Absolutely. Um, when we just try to plan out everything because we want something, we want a relationship to be perfect, we want a business to be perfect, or we want like it just for me it was just like oh my gosh that they use the word decency.
That's
It
the word
leaves
that just caught me
right.
so off
It
guard.
takes out creativity. It takes out like genuine playfulness.
That you have to know what the next step is in order to function.
Yeah. It
And
it was a little dumbfounding.
I love how that was put because I feel that way. You know, I changed that a little bit, and having a strategic approach to creativity takes away from the decency of the experience. Like I am all for learning and having opportunities to learn from people, but there's such a beauty in figuring things out and being a master experimenter, and taking little bits of what you learn here and little bits of what you learn there and piecing it together in a way that feels good for you and makes sense to you. Because you know, I remember early in my journey I would watch YouTube videos. And I found myself getting frustrated because one, I wasn't super in love with some of the tutorials. And two, I had my own ideas bubble up in the process. And I learned some techniques, but then I was off and just figuring stuff out and trying things and learning, you know, through mistakes, quote unquote. I don't really believe in mistakes when you're creating art because there's so much that you're learning. Like, is it a mistake to learn? You know, I think of when I'm when I'm when I'm with my friends' kiddos and they want me to draw it or they want me to get something that's already done, and I'm like, but the whole beautiful thing of it is to figure out, you know, how to do it, how to do the thing for yourself and experiment and try different colors. And it's just it's challenging though because we want it to look a certain way. And I think part of Erica's interview yesterday that I really appreciated is that she has just a journal for her, just like a
Yeah,
sketchbook
I
for
thought that was
her.
cool.
That it's not to show, and I mean that she does that for her main source of income. Like that's part of how she makes her living, and she does it through creating, and that she knows and protects that space of I need something that's not work that still makes this fun because I need to create. Like I love that, and it's so important. So I'm just making little diamonds off those four that I started. I got chatting and I didn't really say what I was doing anymore. And I'm hoping you can see my lighting is gone kind of funny, but there's always replays, right? There's
Wait,
always
where can they catch the replay?
so on Facebook or on YouTube. It's usually posted on the Facebook page. I am working on putting these all in one spot on our Righteous Rebels website. Just haven't gotten to that phase of our journey. So that will be something. And then you can just go back and I know we had some meditation ones at one time. We've had some landscape ones, and you can just pick and choose whichever one. And those are kind of like, they're not just a painting tutorial. It's a tutorial. But I don't know. We've had some really great conversations around creativity and expression, perfectionism, and learning how to show up and practice being a beginner. It's and being okay.
That's one of the things too that I
remember now. Jen, it was all a conversation about, it says nothing about you. Whether you do it or you don't do it, it says nothing about you. That's what it wanted.
Okay, then let's go there, because she was so emphatic about having this conversation.
Well, because it just dawned on me, because that's what we're doing here. What your art is and what you create from that space says nothing about you.
Yeah, it does. It says that you're being brave.
What? Okay.
But it doesn't say the things we think it says.
Yes.
Doesn't mean we're incompetent, or that we're a loser, or that we're unworthy or incapable, like a lot of times we make it out to be.
I guess it's part of it is like the physical evidence. What happened?
Oh no, I've done it twice now. I'm creating special art called Try to Erase Your Pencil Marks, but rub your hand through your watercolors.
Oh, that sounds fun.
Yeah, it's going to be cool. You'll like it.
I'm sure I will. But we were talking about that. I'm just thinking how it applies here. But we were talking about that in all places of our life, where what was it about cleaning? I think we were talking about cleaning, and sometimes how we get into like hyper cleaning mode, and not because it comes from a place of we want to, but we feel that if we don't, we're not enough, and how people are going to look at us, how we're going to look at ourselves, like how we judge ourselves.
Right? Like, what are other people going to think if they walk into our house? Like, are we a good housekeeper? Are we a good wife? Are we a good whatever if our house isn't clean or organized, or it? And that means it means nothing about that. It means your house is unkept, or maybe it's kept in a way that's comfortable for you, and your cupboards are organized in a way that works for you. It's not, but it doesn't mean anything about you by way of your worth or your value.
Yeah.
Or what you can accomplish.
I think it's just that whole, I got to hustle, I got to do this. And if I don't, I'm just not going to be enough, and they're going to judge me. I'm going to judge me. I know I feel like that when lately it's been just super crazy with doing website stuff for a client that I have, and then just working on some Rebel stuff, and I have my kids at home all day too, and trying to balance caring for them and doing work and all this stuff. And sometimes I'll go into another room and I have to walk away because my kids have redecorated without asking me, for any input on the redecoration.
Hey, tell them the newest creation in your stairwell.
Oh my gosh. So I have an 8 and 9-year-old, almost 10-year-old boy. And while I was on meetings, I think it was Tuesday or Wednesday, they thought it would be so cool to get the mattresses that live under their beds for when we have company over. and set them up on our stairwell. So they, yeah, so they have a slide that they go down now, that goes from the upstairs bathroom, and it just go. There's 3 twin mattresses that they set up themselves to go down that stairwell. And at first it was like, what the? And it's kind of growing on me, and I think it's hilarious because my my 10-year or 9-year-old, he was leaving the bathroom, and we're getting ready to go, and he just hops down the stairs like nothing. Like it was so funny, and just the way he did it. And but I just, in that moment, I was like, I was in super judgment of myself, and that they had made a mess of their room, they had made a mess of the hall, they had made a mess of the thing creating this this stairwell slide. And but it was actually super super cute and fun. And they even got the dog to go down it, and it was
This
hilarious.
is say the dog.
Yeah. They got our German Shepherd dog to fly down that little slide, and they just bounced down it. They got their almost 20-year-old sister go down it. Like it was hilarious. I'm just gonna say, when you're getting close to your edges, you're gonna want to make your diamonds a little bit smaller, um, just because you're going around a curve. So just that note. But I think, so getting back to the what it says about you, it's those pieces that we see that poke at the pieces of us that we don't see. Like,
Okay, but again, here just this point of who told you? Who told you that's what it means about you? Like, where did you pick that up, or is that an original thought? Because most often it's not an original thought.
well, usually it's like you got in trouble. I know I did. Or you got sent to your room, or you lost privileges, and it had to be a certain way. Or I think that's where some of it comes from for me. um I don't know, I don't know.
Wow, this is something.
It's something.
Yep.
Oh, I did the exact same one in the exact same spot. Brilliant. So all I'm doing here is taking one color in one corner, one side, and then a different color in another corner or side. What?
Oh, just it's
Are you
just
getting some good
interesting.
blending practice? You what?
What's that?
Are you getting some good blending practice?
Oh yeah, if that's what you want to call it.
I can't wait. Can't wait to see it.
It's seriously having a mind of its own.
Right? That's the
It,
joy
it
of
and
watercolor.
it looks super messy and it's freaking me out. But I'm
And
still just
that's
gonna
okay.
keep painting.
Do you love it? Is it freaking you out and you love it?
It is freaking me out and I love it
There we go.
because I'm in it.
That's right. Being in the mess. I think sometimes we just avoid being in the mess because it's not comfy and it's not predictable. And it's like, when are we going to get out of it? And how long am I going to be here? And when does it feel better? We just want to know. What was it that was said yesterday? Embrace the suck. Like, just
Yeah.
embrace the suck.
Yeah. I think about that. I mean, I say that a lot to myself, like when I'm running, but sometimes I forget to say it when I'm in other places. Like, oh yeah, that applies here too, or oh yeah, that applies here too. And I
Okay, so why do you think the physicality of it is it feels because I think I was talking to you about this yesterday, how embracing the suck of not wanting to do a workout is far easier for me sometimes than embracing the suck of showing up for my writing or finishing a project I've been working on or like what is that?
um well, we know a workout's going to be done in a certain amount of time.
Oh, okay.
Where, it's a different for me, it's a different kind of feel. Like we know it's going to be done in 15 or 20 minutes or 30 minutes or whatever the workout is. Whereas sometimes when we're feeling in the journal, it causes us to feel in a different way, and it creates like, well, and in our bodies, we've been told, no pain, no gain. You gotta, you gotta have the suck in order for it to really, which, I mean, take that for however you want to, but I think when it comes to our emotions and such, it causes us to feel in a different way. It creates different. It's not something that's necessarily going to be done in 10 minutes or 15 minutes, or it taps deeper into our soul. It taps into memories. It taps into experiences and things that may cause bigger discomfort or even hurt.
Well, as you're saying that, I'm thinking like I know what to do when I'm in a workout. Like I
Yeah,
know if I want to work out these groups, muscle groups, I'm going to do this, this, and this. If I'm going to, go for a run, I'm going to go, this long or this far. And okay, so there's like a predictability of or anticipation maybe of an endpoint. But
yes,
okay, so what if there's a timer for writing? Because I do that. But sometimes, even
sure.
knowing there's a timer, I still find myself wanting to have a tantrum. And no,
Because it's gonna, then you still know you have to feel for 15 minutes.
it's a feeling thing. Yeah, it's definitely like things that I don't always want to see because I know it comes out in writing spaces for me. And that's not always the because once you see it, you can't unsee it. And then it just
Yeah.
like, what the what beast did I open up today? I love the pineapple. Is that Megan? Is that you,
I
Megan?
can't
I
I
know.
can't see who's making the comments because I don't have my phone on.
Let me
I have it on the
see.
picture.
I have. I'm curious how your strategic planning goes.
Well, it may be taking the decency out of the experience. Not gonna lie.
Oh, it's Cheryl. Cheryl Miller. Thank you.
Sherelle.
Sherelle. Sorry,
Sherelle.
Sherelle.
Sherelle is who I was just telling you. Her littles were just at my doorstep. They brought me a drink.
Oh, no way.
She has the cutest littles. Uh, yeah,
And
Sherelle
they
is
did
a.
watercolor today, you were telling me.
They did. They did a caterpillar. Sherelle, we almost did a caterpillar. Um, yeah, this is wow. This is something. Oh, I forget. I have to put water down. I've known Sherelle actually for several years. I've known her family or parts of her family for even more. Sherelle's an amazing soul, good person to have in your life or in my life.
Awesome. Thanks for joining us,
I'm
Sherelle.
having, I'm having to concentrate.
Oh, yeah?
So I started my strategic planning. I was trying to bring comfort to my brain, okay, and
I There's no
I
judgment
thought
here.
I will. I
Okay.
know I don't take it. I feel no judgment. I'm walking you through my process. I was trying to
Oh,
bring
okay.
comfort to my brain of like, okay, these diamonds and the straight lines like have to go this way and then they have to crisscross that way. And so I thought, oh, I will pre-draw these, and I used my pencil and my paintbrush and I drew lines, and I mean, I got great lines, but the rest of it, well, that's another story.
Love it. You know,
I honestly think some of this, and again, it's start where you're at and with what you have, but I think some of this has to do with paper, like how it, like I've got the water and I've got the stuff on here, but I really think some of the movability and such, and it, I mean, it could also be that I'm just a beginner, um, is how it moves on the paper, how the paper soaks up or doesn't soak up
which
the
paper are
paint
you
that I'm putting
using?
down. I don't know. It's 140 pounds. I know that.
Yeah, I guess sometimes different brands can give you
It's just,
different.
it has more of a sheen than like I think what you're currently using. And so the paper, I want to describe it as slick or slippery.
Okay.
I don't know.
Well, that's kind of odd. Where did you find your paper?
At Michael's.
At Michael's?
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. You'll have to show me when I'm up there. We'll look
Wait,
at
why are
it.
you coming here?
Oh, because we're doing a river trip. Woo!
What?
Yeah. In
Tell me
August,
about that.
we're going on the river trip for 6 days for surviving leadership. So I'm super excited to get to go down, float the Salmon River with
The main channel of the salmon.
the main channel of the salmon, and just have that experience. And I honestly, I think the part I'm looking forward to the most are the stars, and just
Right.
not having all the light pollution and just really, it honestly freaks me out because I remember when we went and we went for a walk, and it was so dark and I got
When we
scared.
visit, are you talking about when we visited the lodge?
Yeah, when we went to the lodge, um, we went out to go to the beach there, but it was dark. Like it was dark, dark, and we had little lights and stuff. But like you're just out in the middle of nowhere, and it's just like I think I just felt my smallness in that moment.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it was amazing. And we got to see, I think, bats floating over the water at that time. It was
Yep.
just awesome, just so awesome. So,
Are you
okay, so
excited to camp along the river?
what's that?
Are you excited to sleep along the, like on the beaches?
Um, I I you know what? I've never done it. I don't think I have um, a judgment for it. I can't say I'm excited per se. Um,
What?
it's not that I'm not excited. It's more I don't know what to expect. So I'm more excited for like the floating and the hiking and the seeing the things. The night thing maybe might freak me out a little bit. So I'm just not putting a lot of thought or energy there, if I'm honest. Um, I don't know. I've never really done that. Like the only camping that I've ever done um, has been like in provincial parks and stuff. And um, yeah, and I haven't done a whole lot of camping either. So this is a very new experience for me.
I think it's
So
awesome. So, for those who are watching, we actually are going to open up our next year's event when we return. So, by the 1st of September, you can register for next year's event. And you'll get to see pictures of our experience and our amazing guides, and
yeah,
that's,
it's
we're
so
super
excited.
excited. And just so you know, it's we've made it so that you can do it no matter what your finances are. It's just a $500 deposit, and then we'll, for those of you who want it, there's a payment plan, and we, because we want you there. Leah, tell. Let's talk a little bit about like what a leader is in our world. I know a lot of people who are in programs or in companies that leadership is considered. I think they get it mixed up with like ranking versus actual leadership. And what is a leader?
Um, it's anyone that shows up to share knowledge, and their knowledge and wisdom come hand in hand. Um, Anyone that wants to make a difference in another's life, like you don't. It's not a rank. It's not. You don't have to work somewhere to be a leader, but just that you care about people and you want to serve people in whatever capacity that is, whether it's as a teacher, as a mom, as community, someone in the community. And it's really just having the confidence and the knowing that you can hear your own voice, and that you can stand up for the things that you believe in, and help others find their own leadership within themselves. I think that for me is one of the cornerstones of leadership, is to bring out the leader in others and show them
I love that.
their selves.
Yeah, I appreciate you sharing that. For me, like if you live on this planet, you're a leader. You're a leader in one way or another, whether you aspire to be a leader or not. It's something that we're born to. It's a born freedom and gift. It's not something that is bestowed upon us. It's not. We're born leaders. It's our birthright. And whether that's you choose to be a stay-at-home mom, you're leading. Whether you're coaching a t-ball team or a softball team, you're a leader. Or maybe you're doing strategic planning inside of your communities, you're a leader. So we're really just we're our goal that way is to redefine, not necessarily redefine, but just the thinking of what a leader is, and to recognize that you're a leader in your own right, simply because you exist on this planet.
And you have things to share. Like, we all have things to share with one another, and not everyone knows all the things. So we need to be open to having those experiences and those conversations. I think of, um, Jeff opening up his home, and how passionate he is about what he does. And, he's leading
That
in that passion.
that seriously is going to be an amazing night. And if you're in anywhere close to the Idaho Falls, Pocatello, Sugar City, Rexburg area, get yourself registered for that event. We've got it at a minimal cost to help cover food and time and such. And it's going to be it's going to be an amazing night of conversation, learning about what it really means to feed yourself, and in all the ways, and how to make food fun, and just by making some simple changes.
Or
Creating.
bringing awareness to what you're doing. I mean, how many times do we just scarf things down because we're in a hurry, or we just haven't had time to really think about it, and we're dragging our bodies along with us as we're trying to do all the things. And then we're like wondering why we don't feel the greatest, and we don't, like, I just say that when I took time to really notice how foods felt when I ate them, I realized, like, I don't have an allergy to gluten or things that way, but I definitely notice, like, I feel sleepy and lethargic. And it's not that I'm actually tired, it's what I'm putting in my body is contributing to that. Or just different, are you drinking coffee, and how does that affect your energy levels? And what, I can't remember where I was going with that.
Yeah, I do
One of
have a
those moments.
delightful frou coffee. Thank you to Sherelle and the kids at my desk right here.
That's
And you
awesome.
know what? Every once in a while, I love it. Um, I love the phrase for me uh, when I have had food that is so delightful. It really uses all, like, we want to have food that uses all of the senses. There are countries that eat slowly. They like take 2 hours to make and eat meals. And food is an experience. It's not just something you throw down your mouth and down your throat into your belly. It actually has purpose and meaning. And I love experiences where the food begs to be eaten slowly. And that's some of the things that we'll talk about is how to create that in your life so that your body systems learn to function as they were designed to function, because you're taking the time to get all of the senses involved and all of the pieces of digestion and delight. And I'm just so excited. Our conversation yesterday was it was just amazing. And to
With
watch
Jeff.
Jeff's passion for it, dang,
To watch Jeff's
even
what, sorry?
his passion.
Passion? Okay. I thought so, but I wasn't sure. Yeah, you're quite excited after that one. Just sharing
Well,
what that's all about.
I love who he is as a person. I met him in college. He married one of my childhood friends that was like my locker mate in high school, and we spent 2 years living together in college. And I, I don't interact with them often, and so to be able to sit down and have meaningful, connecting conversation yesterday was a feeding of the soul.
That's so
And
awesome.
those that's what we're wanting to do for you too, is create these experiences where you are soul fed, not just physically, but your soul is fed, and when you leave, you know you've been fed.
And we have, when you register, there are some questions that we're just asking that will be part of that night. In just regards like, when's the last time you felt fed, or what's a food that makes you just want to salivate when you think of it, or what was the favorite childhood food that you had? What's your favorite food to cook? Like, just really thinking about how food plays a part in our lives. Oh, I did that. Shoot.
Or do you even pay attention to how it plays a role in your life?
Right. So
Wow,
true.
this is quite a pineapple experience, I'm just going to say.
Awesome. I love that it's an experience. Mission
Oh,
accomplished. Mission
it makes
accomplished.
me want to move more quickly.
What do you mean?
I I will tell you though, my mind is having less of a freak out. Like, that piece of doing art, this kind of art is settling a little. And maybe it's just the I've told it we're going to do this. I've told my mind we're going to do this, and it's not probably going to be pretty, and it's absolutely not going to be perfect in the ways that it would like it to be perfect. And so I do feel a settling.
That's
And
awesome.
I still don't know that I could just do it to sit down. Oh my gosh, how do you have your? Wow, I have a long ways to go. Keep going. And now my mind did just freak out.
What do you mean? What
Well,
I you
I
didn't
haven't
finish
looked
your
up for a
sentence.
minute. I haven't looked up for a minute to see where you're at. Like, I'm still finishing my stinking diamonds.
Okay, that's okay. And that's okay.
It has to be because that's where I'm
You,
at.
you just go wherever you're at. It's all as it should be. I had someone ask me today, "What are you gonna paint?" And that makes my mind go, ah. I don't know. I I feel that same angst when I'm packing. I am I'm not a super fan of packing. Um, I'm going away with my kiddos next week to a cottage with some friends, and then I'm going to go visit my mom another 6 hours away, and then I'm going to Idaho. So like, there's a lot of movement in the next month, and I'm like, how do I pack for that? Where do I even start? And then it's getting all in my head when really I just need to start putting stuff together tomorrow before I go. and being okay with that.
Why does it bring you angst? Like, what about it?
I think one, because I worry about forgetting stuff. I feel like I should have more organization in that space, more lists and that sort of thing.
But why do
I
you
don't know
think
why
that?
I resist that. What's that?
Why do you think that? Why do you think you need to have a list?
Um,
I mean, I already know the answer to this.
oh, do you? Do you want to tell me?
Seriously, you're packing with. It's not just you. You have other people around you who are packing.
I think it's just, you're going to forget something. I don't know. I can't find stuff, or like I forget that I packed the thing that I'm looking for. And, then I have to go back and look for it and then realize, oh, wait, I did pack it. And then I honestly, sometimes I forget that I packed things like several times. And then I get upset because then I can't find it where it's supposed to be. And then I go back to where I thought I put it in my pack and it's not there. And then I find it when I'm already gone. And it's just, I don't know. I find it ridiculous. And then, you know what? It's always fine. Like, it's literally always fine. I was so worried about packing when I went to India last year, and I underpacked like in a huge way. I
Dude,
think
she had a carry-on.
I know, like that's literally, and I only packed for like 3 days, and I should have brought extra clothes. And I think I was just so nervous because it was my first time traveling in many years, and I just I was unsure about going to India. I was afraid of losing stuff. Like, I had no idea, and I definitely underpacked. I think I got the award for the most underpacked. So,
Yeah,
Jane, no.
it was impressive. I packed for you.
Yeah, I did. Okay, so I put a bit of a shadow under here for a cute little pineapple. Yay! And look, I've got some drippiness going on. That's amazing. So if you want, you
Wow.
don't have to do this part, but if you want like splashy poos, splashy poos. Did I
What did you just say?
I don't know where that came from. That was awesome. If you want little splashes, oh my gosh.
Did you say splashy poos?
I don't know what you're talking about. Anyways, we're just gonna move on. I'm gonna do little splashes. I'm gonna do little splashes. See, little splashes. And they can touch other things. I've got a drip going on, and I totally forgot my paper towel again because I'm not in my usual spot. So that's, oh look, I've got some runoff here. And that's okay. It's okay if it's drippy. I'm gonna, I do need a paper towel or something. This is dripping. Splashy poo, seriously. Okay, give me 1 second. 1 second. Or two.
Like, my desire to be a little kid and count right now is so high. Anyone else feel that way? Oh man. Okay, so I'm feeling a little freaked out because I'm just now doing my leaves. I totally ran my hands through my wet paint. Um, but you know what? Here's the deal. I did it, and my mind is less freaking out about the process, and that actually feels good.
I love that. Oh, there's a big glob that I just couldn't let go.
I'm even going to add some splashy poos.
I'm not going to live that one down for a minute. I can already tell.
No, you're not.
Dang, that's amazing. I can't believe that came out of my mouth. Like, what?
Yeah, I'm not really sure what you got going on there.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there. Cables got crossed.
That
I have no
blue
idea.
is
And that's okay.
so intense.
So there is a cool, I feel like I'm missing, I've got some separation going on here. So I'm going to make a couple more diamond, but like not quite diamond, because I want to make that kind of rounded. That looks better.
This blue I got going on here is so intense. Holy crud.
Oh, yeah?
I think I have it watered down. I put it on the page. I'm like, whoa. Nope. Nope, I don't.
Nope, nope. So when this dries, I'm probably going to find a spot on here that I can put the quote that I love. Do you remember it, Jen?
Something about wearing a crown on top and being sweet in the middle.
Yeah. So be a pineapple, stand tall, wear a crown, and be sweet on the inside.
Oh, I was so close. Considering that was an hour and a half ago, that's impressive.
Was it an hour? No. We didn't get on till like after 3:30.
No. We're at 57 minutes here, but when just in our discussion beforehand.
Oh, yes. Yeah, be a pineapple, stand tall, wear a crown, and be sweet on the inside. Yeehaw. Love it.
I love when it actually does the ballooning thing. It makes my heart happy, but it doesn't like to do it for me very often.
No?
No. Seriously gonna have to just play with this paper when you get here and see what.
We'll try different papers.
You'll probably just say, no, Jen, that's user error.
No, there is something to be said about good paper. Like, it is true.
Changing the paints though, we did change the paints, and that made a big difference. When we switched from the original set I had to, you brought me some, and then I bought some other, like, that made a big difference as well.
Oh, yeah?
Just in how the paint moves. And
I mean, this paper that I'm using, it's in a book that I just recently got. It's like a cotton, recycled paper cotton or something. And I really enjoyed it. It's more spendy, but I do like it. I don't know. I'd want to see your paper. Is it in the book that?
Yeah.
Okay, I know what you're talking about then. It's not. It is not as thirsty. What could help with that? Maybe we'll try that for next time. Is just doing more wet on wet and just wetting your paper ahead of time, and then doing it that way, and that might help with that sheen that you're talking about, and just like soften it so it's not so it's more porous for your paints.
Okay.
It makes it thirsty.
Yeah, we want thirsty paper.
Oh my gosh. I didn't even see. Oh, I heard So I heard
okay, I actually, whoever wrote that, I actually heard the same thing. That's why I said, what did you say?
Oh my gosh. That's funny.
Yeah, splashy boobs.
That's not what I said. Okay, so Luba, food that begs you to eat it slowly sounds very sexy.
Oh, it is. Luba, I'll tell you what. I've had some meals that, oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep.
There's Megan. She says, "Yay, good food. Rub a dub dub. Thanks for the grub." Then Luba, no list here. All you really, really need when traveling is your passport if it's international. The rest you can buy or don't even need. Thanks, Luba. I appreciate that reminder.
That's what I asked her. I'm like, are you going to the deep woods? Like, you're going to have somewhere you can get what you need?
It's really not that big. Big of a deal.
I would love to see the art that you who are watching. I would love to see your art. I would love to hear your thoughts about your process, because it's getting easier to say on here, like, whoo, embrace the suck. It's getting easier. My mind is calming down, but I would love to see your guys' pictures. I would love to see what you're creating and hear about what your process is and what goes through your mind as you're trying a new medium. And it's part of what I loved in our conversation yesterday is, one, I really appreciated that she loved my watermelon. And
yes, that was awesome.
And that she celebrated the fact that, you know what, this is, she meaning Erica, brought out the point of your art doesn't have to be perfect. Just do something. Just get into it and have fun with it, and
just start. I love that she said that.
I did too.
Just start, and be okay being messy. Like, go do the thing. I remember being in I don't know if it was a conference or something, and someone was like asking a lot of questions about color theory and this and that. And I remember the facilitator just saying something about just letting it go and seeing what it does, and trusting your own intuition with how does that feel? Does it look right to you? So much we're looking outside ourselves for validation if we're doing it right. And just reminding us that we have that inner intuition, that we know far more.
Yeah, again, it's part of whoops. It's part of what our mission is here at Rebels, is just to remind you that you just got to get back to remembering that
Yeah. So Luba says, I'm not painting. I am in a horizontal position with my back out, so I am being entertained with sexy food and splashy boobs.
Ooh, we're just gonna leave that one right there.
I'm glad, Luba, that first off, I'm sorry that
I'm sorry to hear that your back's out.
Yeah. That sounds horrible. But I'm super grateful that we can entertain you in that painful state. So hopefully,
however,
you can just send good vibes that way.
I might actually like to see the art that comes out of being in that position. Okay, hold on. Ooh, I gotta fix one little spot that's totally. Oh wait.
What?
Hold on, I gotta do.
I'm totally holding here.
Because I like splashy boobs on my paints.
Oh my gosh.
I am so glad that someone else heard that too, because that was
ridiculous.
That was a little shocking for me.
I didn't mean to.
I try to tell Leah this is a PG rated show, but she doesn't sometimes pay attention.
Oh my goodness.
Oh.
So Megan's nice. That is awesome. Megan says, I'm creating swimsuits now. I take 2 to 3 swimsuits and create one. It helps me relax, loving the entertainment, and hoping my swimsuit will cover my splashy boobs. What have I done?
Who have children watching, you can,
Blog.
I will apologize that you'll get to explain that to them, but yeah, I don't apologize. Okay.
All right.
Ooh,
Hey, look at that. That looks so good, Jen. I love it.
Hey, give me some more praise. That's all. I'll keep going.
Oh, yeah, no, show it
And
again.
actually, no, actually, this is what happens when I look at it. There are parts of my brain that still go, oh my gosh, like for reals. I ran my hand across wet paint. The paint doesn't. I'm not a master at blending yet, so just like all the practice of that and colors. But I look at it and I go, no, but I sat here and I did it, and I'm noticing the lessening of tension in my mind and a whole lot less crappy self-talk. And it is becoming more enjoyable. And you know what? It's not like I'm trying to sell the darn stuff. However, if you want to buy it, I'd be happy to put a price on it. Just saying.
Johnny says, that's freaking awesome.
Yay! Wow, she even called me my name. Thank you. Thank you for that.
Honestly, I just love that. And you know what?
Whoever just asked to see it again.
There you go. Megan, see? And I love your splashes. And you know what? Those things, the imperfection is what makes it human, Jen. Like it doesn't have to, that's the thing I try to tell people all the time is it doesn't have to look a certain way. It's the humanity of it. It's the imperfection. It makes you more relatable. It's just, it gives that connection.
Well, and here's what I find interesting is I like the phrase perfectly imperfect. I really believe that everything is perfect for where we're at in our learning and in our growth and our expansion. When people say, "Oh, it's not perfect," well, it really is perfect for right where you're at. And I get to remind myself of that often. And I'm not sure what this hiccup is I can share my life. I can share my life lessons and things like that. But for whatever reason, things like singing, and maybe it's just because it's new. Like I don't like to practice in front of people. I would rather sing in front of thousands than in front of 5. And then I think just showing this, for me, it's about being in the practice stage, showing people in the practice stage, I think is what it's more about. And so I'm grateful that I get an opportunity to show up in the practice stage and not just like some of the crazy sauce that goes in my life goes on in all of our lives, but that I get to show up. I don't know what I'm saying. I do know what I'm saying.
No,
I'm grateful that I get to
I hear you. Oh, and you better sign that because you've got a bit of a bidding war going on in the comments here for your for your art.
Okay. Look.
So we had 20 and then up to 35 and now we have 40. So you better sign it, Jen.
Highest bidder.
Love it. I love it. And I think part of it is that it's so easy to not look at the parts of our lives as we go through them. But there's something about actually seeing your outside world reflecting.
Dude, we're up to $50. Sorry, pause. $50. I'm taking you guys up on this offer. Just know that. Okay, keep
So
talking.
Megan's got 50. Oh, Luba had 45. Megan's got 50. Dang,
look
there
at me.
You go.
I'm an artist.
Damn right. I love it. So good. I love it.
So
I love that you show up and that you're.
we started this conversation off with strategic planning and oh shoot, say the quote again, the line again by Humble.
Just hold on. So the quote is, having a strategic approach to love takes away the decency of the experience.
And I think I want to bring it back around to that. Is I think that's a 50-12. Yes. Yes. I did just do a little dance. But I think that's what that just hit a tender spot. Not the dance or the 50-12, but the quote. But thank you for the 50-12. Is just that when in my world, I know when I try to plan everything out, the perfectionism takes away from the joy and the decency of being a beginner and the learning process and learning to be fulfilled and proud of the things that you're learning and growing and being able to see the growth. I was telling Leah, I sometimes I struggle honestly with people who are like, what's your 1-year plan? What's your 5-year plan? What's your 10-year plan? And I understand the purpose in that and the intention behind it. But for me, I feel like we get so caught up in that we forget and we put on our blinders to those plans and we lose the decency and the joy of being human and all of the other stuff that comes into this. If we go to what our river trip was, how that thing started and the journey that it's taken, had I been just so blinded into how that started, I would have been highly disappointed with the outcome that's actually taking place. But instead, we've been able to meet incredible people, and we actually have people who are ready to sign up for next year. And if that's you, oh my gosh, we're so excited. Let's get you. We're going to ask that you actually get yourself registered with a $500 deposit, but to hold your spot because there's only 20. But I would have missed all of the beautiful conversations that took place and all of the learning of like, oh my gosh, my mind is freaking out because I signed this big, huge contract and how am I going to do this thing? And people telling me I should let it go. And my heart saying, you can't let it go. And not sure what to trust and following through with like, I actually have to follow through with this. Had I been stuck on the plan that we created, all of the other, I think, really would have been lost. And there would have been some missed decency of the humanity and all of that. And so I think that's what I think that's what I'm learning to really embrace in this moment. Gosh dang it. Is just the decency of being a beginner and getting to do it with other people. And that moment of pedagogy where we come together and that spontaneous eruption of learning and growth. So there you go. Holy cow. How about a 2 for
I love that it can reach those places in you. And I think that's why I love watercolors the way that I do, because it is soulful and it does push buttons and it makes you go to places that you've never gone, especially if it's something that, you've always said, I'll do someday, or, it's those things that we put off. And there's so much to learn in the process of doing the watercolor, and it's not even the techniques, but like learning to be okay when things go wrong, when colors mix, when we don't know
run
what
your hand across
doing. and how you're trying, I think of it in life, like how you're trying to make your life look a certain way. And, you're trying to make this art piece look a certain way. And then, oh, shoot, you spilt water here and you made that mistake there. But that's the whole experience. That's the realness of it. And people will see those, quote unquote imperfections in your art, but really it's what gives it depth and texture and vibrancy. And it just makes it real. So.
You're talking about that. Okay, who's the fellow Richard? The creative, that guy. I happened across one of his reels or something today where he said, you got to remember why you're creating. Are you creating for you? Or are you creating for other people? Because if you're creating for other people, you're always going to have that sense of not enough, because someone's not going to like it, or they're going to say, you got to do this, or but if you're really creating for you, it brings in that decency. It brings in the just allowing things to flow and you being happy with your product, no matter what it looks like, and going, I sat here and I did that came from me. And then whoever likes it beyond that is just like the cherries on top.
Yeah.
And the 5012s, it's coming. It's just the cherry on top. And so I think just that reminder too of like, remember who you're creating for, and it's for you. It's about coming home to you. And then if it goes outside of you and people like it, that's just even better. So
I think that's the other thing of art, though. Like when other people do connect with it, it's speaking to the parts of themselves that maybe aren't fully expressed, or that they recognize a familiarity in what you're presenting, and you're filtering, your experience through your hands. It goes from your thoughts through your heart out your hands, and you're creating something, and it's going to connect with people in different ways. So
I love it. This has been a long one. So we just want to say thank you. Leah, any other thoughts?
I appreciate you sharing, and just that you're so willing to show up, Jen, and share that experience. I'm sure other people feel that way in being a beginner, and just your openness, just honoring your vulnerability and your openness to share that experience with anyone watching.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I did have a small, I was excited to try today's, and you're like, we're gonna do a pineapple. And then you showed me, I'm like, okay, I can do this. Doesn't matter. I can do this. I did not just choke on a fly.
I was going to ask you to do it again. What was that? No. What was the reaction?
Yeah, I appreciate the opportunity to do it. And again, it's part of what Righteous Rebel is about, is learning to just show up for yourself, to come home to you, and just remember to be bold.
Be brave.
And be brave. Are we ending?
I couldn't help myself.
Someone's complimenting your hair who actually knows your name.
It's Amy. Thanks, Amy. You're the best.
Anyway, thank you for joining us today and allowing us to just like have a chatty chat and be a part of that for an extended period of time. We know time is really valuable, and that you share it with us means a lot. And we're grateful that you're part of our community and for the magic that you bring to it. Keep showing up for you. Keep showing up for us. Keep showing up for the community. And really, no matter what art you have, whether it's you've painted the pineapple today, which we would love to see, or you've done some other some other kind of art, or you've made a cupcake, or whatever. We have an art gallery over at the Righteous Rebels Facebook group. Click the button if you haven't joined. We'll let you in and take a picture. Let us celebrate your art and your process of expansion into whatever it is you're expanding in.
With your hair.
If it's
I
what?
remember a girl who would do her hair in like a flower shape, like whatever art is for you. Share
How,
that. We'd love to see
how
it
about this? Would this work?
in the art gallery.
I won't show my hair. I'll just show my pineapple.
Okay. Go ahead.
All right, you guys, it's been amazing. Leah, thank you for teaching today. And remember, August 24th, go get yourself registered, 10 spots. It's going to be a freaking amazing night in the outdoor kitchen by the fire. And then again, watch for the registration for next year's river trip coming up. Same dates, but registration will open beginning of September. We love you. We love you so much. And remember, be bold.
Be brave.
Be a rebel.
Be a rebel.
All right. We'll see you soon.
See you next time, guys.